Hey guys, welcome to the Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and we are going to be doing some classic Formula One test driving. So, originally I was planning on filming my review for the Heusinkveld shifter today, but this new release from Studio 397 I thought would be a little more fun to cover. They released two classic 1976 era Formula One cars. Note that these are initial releases, so technically in the change notes, they are showing as version 0.1, but apparently early impressions are positive, so I'm excited to test these out. So the two cars that are released today are the Brabham BT44B and the March 761. These are two cars that ran in the mid 1970s, including the 1976 season, which I believe both of these cars are based off of. Now, if you remember in the earlier days of rFactor 2, the Brabham BT44B was actually released as an early initial proof of concept for the new contact match model. And now this is a more stable release. It's a little more polished. It's a little more refined. The March 761 was mentioned a few months ago, but it should be a lot of fun. It's interesting, though, how in the description it mentions a fast but fragile F1 car. So, should be interesting to see how this is. And it also mentions, interesting fact, these cars use a sponsorship that changed from race to race. So we might see if there are different liveries in the rFactor 2 version as well. That should be interesting. But we're not seeing much on the specs of these cars in the description. I would have liked to see that a little more. But hey, this is an initial release. So let's get behind the wheel in rFactor 2 and take these vehicles for a spin. Now, one thing you'll notice is I do have this back camera set up again, so I was able to get another Logitech C922, and it looks like these are running pretty well. Another thing you'll notice is I have no right monitor right now. Unfortunately, my right monitor gave up the ghost after just less than 3 months, so I do have to have that sent out for an RMA. It sounds like their policy for AOC monitors is that if the monitor fails within 3 months, they'll just send you a new one. So I should hopefully be getting a new monitor within a week or so. But it's unfortunate. Kind of sucks that the monitor died less than 3 months in. But yeah, we will get a replacement at least, which is good. So I think because I have driven the BT44B before, I am going to try that again. But interesting enough, the image, work in progress version 0.8. And then here it says version 2.04. I'm confused right now. Let's check something. Let's check the March real quick. So March 761. So this has the 1976 and 1977. So March 2.05. So it looks like these are actually full releases, but the Steam Workshop is not showing that. Weird. I would have liked also Brabham BT44B to be nested inside Brabham instead of having its own separate folder. So Studio 397, I love what you're doing, but get this sorted. Get it sorted, because it's all sorts of confusing right now. And that's the last thing you want. There's already enough fragmentation as it is, so work on this little stuff. Work on the little refinements, guys. And I think for this test, I'm going to take it to Classic Brianza, aka Monaco. Or not Monaco, Monza. Whatever. And we'll do a private test session to at least get a feeling for how this car is. We don't need that advanced time scale. One thing that's nice, though, is This track actually does have the presets for tracks working like as it should. So we'll do medium rubbered in. And let's get an idea on how this car performs. Should take a minute or so to load. These 70s beasts were extraordinary and fascinatingly superb. It was an interesting period of time, especially for the technology powering Formula One. Because if you think about it, going from the 50s and 60s, those cars, those were absolutely insane. You had like the beginning of the 3-liter era. We have the beginning of that, like the concept of downforce and ground effects. So that was able to get those cars to start sticking a little more. And that was great for the sport as a whole, and it was freaking awesome. And hey, Mauricio, or sorry if I mispronounced your name, but thanks for dropping by. But yeah, 1970s F1 was that age when we were starting to see more thought put into the technical elements and math in racing, and that was great. So yeah, I'm excited to test this out. I'll need to make sure all my controls are set up properly, which should be simple to do. Let's see. Haven't driven this version of Monza in forever. So, gas, clutch, brake, shift up and shift down. I'm going to use my Heusinkveld shifter. Oh, wait, I have the alt shift up. That's good. So, we should be pretty set.
Data log disabled.
Might need to set degrees of rotation a little better. This car uses 569, so I got to manually adjust that in SimiCube. That's one of the only things I'm not really a fan of in rFactor 2 right now. It doesn't allow you to adjust it. So you have to set it in manually for SimiCube. So hopefully that gets fixed recently. So let's take a look and test drive this car. Bocephus, yes, I am really excited seeing what they're doing. Hopefully they do increase some of the, or fix some of the other issues I have. For example, the shadow draw distance is abysmal. Here, hold on. I'm interested in hearing how the sounds are for this car. Because sounds, I've found, are kind of a mixed bag for rFactor 2. Aw, speeding. I'm kind of liking this sound. It's not perfect. It's giving me memories of watching onboard cameras where it might not be the most authentic sounds, but it still sounds raw and visceral enough to be fun. But there's that level of depth that I'm enjoying in the sound. I would have loved to hear more bass in the sounds, but pretty good. Pretty good so far. Looks like the gears are too short for Monza, though. Very, very, very snappy car. Quick steering lock. What's interesting, this car just sounds quiet. Maybe it's just I have volume low. Oh yeah, it's just volume low. That is so much better now. Let's do a quick drive-through because... What is the speed limit here? Come on, show me. 62, okay. Well, at least it's a quick... I am liking the sound, though. It just has that nice depth to it. And it's interesting compared to the other F1 cars that are the older ones in rFactor 2, like the 60s, which you would have to lift for that first turn in Monza. This feels like you can almost take it flat out. I don't know if you can. We can try that next lap. But this really feels nice. But one thing I love that Studio 397 actually did is they released two cars that competed in roughly the same year together, which means they're pretty technically similar, which means you can actually race with the two of them. But yeah, we need to lengthen the gears. So I'm actually going to go into pits and do that real quick. Okay, that sound is off. That has to be a placeholder. Oh my god. Please, please tell me that's a placeholder. Hold on. So let's change the final gear. Yeah, that has to be a placeholder. Well, again, this was said to be version 0.1 in the workshop, but then it said that this is version 0.2.0 in the sim. So I'm not sure. Is this supposed to be a final release, or is it major work in progress? And Zadis Gaming, yeah, thank you for that. I am going to forward that to Alice, likely when he's awake next, because he's in Europe, so likely will be a little time before he's up. But yeah, the sound in here sounds good, at least. So hopefully they enhance that in the near future. So let's push in the first corner and see if this car actually sticks. It's sticking. I might have lifted a hair because of just the tires being cold, but this car will stick in that first corner. So yeah, this gearing is much better, I think. But yeah, I'd imagine that this car, this would be using a V8. Brabham, I think they might have had their own V8 or a Ford Cosworth V8. So this sounds interior-wise close to a Cosworth V8. So I'd imagine the exterior sound would sound similar to a Lotus 49, or maybe because this revs higher, closer to, say, the Lotus 79. So I'd hope that later on the sounds would get a lot closer to this, or in real life. I don't know what engine it uses in real life. Oh my gosh. That snap oversteer in the first corner. But this car is fun. It is a lot of fun. Make sure to heel and toe properly for the downshift. So it is a little tight. But still. I could be just my driving right now. Just trying to learn this car as I hit that curve. Imagine taking this around the ring. Yeah, just mad respect for all those drivers in real life who actually did take this car or any other car of this era, or even in the 60s. It's just mad skill, mad skill. These cars are just absolute beasts. And I'm really liking the feel of these cars in rFactor 2 right now. I'm going to assume this has the latest tire model, and that means that, hold on, I'm clipping a bit. There, that should be a little better. I'm just thinking that this car, the way it performs, it's likely on the newer tire model for rFactor 2, and it feels great. You have a great idea of the mechanical grip, and that's what you're looking for in these cars, because these cars are not nearly as aero dependent as the modern Formula One cars, or even cars from the late 1970s, 1980s. You still had to really have a feel for the mechanical grip of the car. And you get a great feeling of that through the force feedback of the steering wheel. Hello, Gios. Thank you for joining in. So maybe if I turned back the gear ratio a little more, I think it would have been perfect. But still, trying to get the rear tires to break free. There we go. Catch that slide. Got them to break free a little too much. But, oh man, this thing, it is a blast to drive. I'm going to have to try this in VR sometime soon. Thanks for the heads up, Shane. And yeah, I can tell this is the Cosworth V8, so they really need to tune the sounds. A little too aggressive in that turn in. I might turn in a little early. But this car is just so much fun. I gotta say, they've just about nailed the interior sounds. The interior sounds great. They just need to fix the exterior sounds. I'm just gonna shut up for a half a lap and let you listen to the sound of the car. Yeah, I'm guessing Erudzitis. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. I'm guessing that it's gearing and downforce. So we can try seeing about how to get a competitive setup for this car. So let's drop out. Yeah, for some reason, the exterior sounds of this sound a little bit like almost a six-cylinder. It sounds a little close to like the modern Indy car for some reason. So let's take a look general. We'll drop the final gear because I think we had 731. 831 I think will work well for us. I think we need to drop the front and rear wing a couple clicks, and let's give that a try.
Disabled.
Hey, Metal Mike, how's it going? By the way, I'd like to hear your thoughts. How do you like the side camera? Do you like how the side camera is set up? I just wanted to show so you could see sort of a little bit of my heel and towing, also my shifting. So I thought that would be fun to show you guys. Very hard to find best setup. That is true. So part of it, you have to make it, I think. You can already tell it's quicker acceleration. Gios, unfortunately, I don't think that the Terrell is modeled. Okay, at speed I can, yep, it's washing out a bit. I'm not sure if that's cold tires or the reduced downforce or a mix of both. But you can just tell the revs are that much higher now. But oh man, I can feel that higher acceleration now. It said redline was like 10,500, I think. Yeah, 183 miles an hour. So let's brake here. I think I apex a little too early there. Come on, catch that, catch that. There we go. So let's see how the split is next. We can just see the split rising. Okay, we're gonna go flat. Don't lift, don't lift, don't lift. Car's washing out, I have to lift. Oh, that was close. But still 6/10 up. I wish I had an H shifter I could mount on the rig. I just don't have room on this side. But oh man, this sound. I am loving the interior sounds. If they can get the exterior to match the interior, oh, I'll be in love. But Monza is such a tricky track because most of the corners are high speed. And then you slow down. Let's try getting that run off. Little wide, dang it. Hop the berm. Oh gosh. Oh snap, crackle pop. That hurt a bit. Come on, is this gonna reset me? There we go. I think I had invulnerability on, so I should be good. I think I had that big scratch mark right there. It would be interesting to see that oval redone. But again, I think it'd lose a bit of its magic because it'd have to meet safety regulations. Come on. Let's see if we can actually get a good run here. This is the this is the Brabham BT44B. The other car is the March 761. But just that scream of that Cosworth V8. Some of the best sounding motors in all of racing, in my opinion. Gotta wait for the turn in. There we go. So that's 1.5 seconds up. I think we can get more. And boom, that jumped us to 5th quick. So I guess this was the right setup tweak. Come on. There we go. That's a good way to take that corner. Maybe left a tiny bit on the table, but still pretty fast. Drag the left foot brake a little there. We're okay. It's interesting though. Seems like this car handles trail braking okay. I would have thought that this car would be very unstable under trail braking, but seems to be handling it okay, which is nice. So next up, we will run some laps around here in the March. I want to get a lap time comparison. Oh man. That's a 124.866. We'll run one more hot lap and see how, if we can improve, I should say. Don't hit the curbs. This is a very challenging car, but a lot of fun. It's interesting. It's relatively easy to drive, but it'll bite you when you try to bite or drive hard, as you can see. Oh, that was a little bit scary there. I'm gonna say it's largely this wheel that helped me save that slide. It just went so quick and I was able to catch it. So we're about half a second up. Let's go deep here. Locked up, dang it. And we're dead. And that's the danger of classic Formula 1. Just think about it. In real life, if I just locked it up and shot off there, gone off that berm, I'd be a goner. And that's kind of the mad respect I have for these classic Formula 1 drivers. That, yeah, that would likely severely maim or kill someone, and they legitimately faced that risk. And yeah, so mad props to all those racers who raced in that day and age. So we had a 124.8 with the Brabham. I want to see how close we can get with the March. So we have one car for the 1976, and then 3 for 77. Since that Brabham, I think, covered 75, I will do 76 to test out this configuration. And maybe test out 77 at a different location. Does anyone recommend a Group C mod for AMS? Unfortunately, I have no clue, to be honest. I'm sorry about that. I have no clue about a Group C mod for AMS. Looks like after stream I might need to tighten a couple things on my pedals. But yeah, natural for the pedals to get a little loose as use prevails on it. Hey Ethan, how's it going? Okay, so let's take a look at this setup. So this uses the 831 by default, which that was the faster gear ratio. For the Brabham, 731 was stock. So 831, seeing that, that's nice. I want to check something real quick. So that's oval car setups and then Spark F1 setups. So that's not anything we're going to use. So let's take a look. So that gear ratio should be good for us. Same steering wheel range. It looks like same rev limiter, roughly. I'm gonna drop the wings again because we did with the other car.
Disabled.
a little more raw sounding. How does this compare to the 70s F1 car in AMS, AC, and Project Cars 2? I'd say it feels a lot closer to the AMS version, which personally is my favorite version of the 1970 car. So this car, or at least the previous car I drove, the Brabham, felt very close to the AMS version, which I felt was the most intuitive. So that is a great thing. The feeling of the car is very natural. It's easy to drive, hard to actually push, which I think was kind of what these cars were like. So you get a good idea on feeling what the tires are doing. You get a good feeling of if the car is washing out or if it's oversteering, which is what you're looking for. So you can feel the understeer. You can feel the beginnings of oversteer as I was hopping up on that curb. And note that apparently these are still early works in progress. It looks like this car needs a little more work visually. Possibly with the front. I'm not fully sure. But the feeling of this car is really great. I'm enjoying the feeling of the car, even though I just made a big mistake. But yeah, this car, it feels a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to drive. I think I still need to tune, or I fine-tune some of my SimiCube settings and some of the files for rFactor 2 to work best with this, but so far, so good. So let's turn in. It's washing out, so I have to lift a bit, I think. Next lap, I might try flat. Who knows? I might surprise myself. That's interesting because I'm guessing these cars use similar engines, but this sounds a little more visceral, a little more raw. But it seems like this is, I'd say, a little more agile than the Brabham. So the Brabham, I think, I wouldn't call it more sluggish, but I'd say this is definitely a little more snappy. So I think these two cars, they will cater to different driving styles. But both of these cars are a lot of fun. And I think it is natural that the two cars will have different balances. They're created by two different manufacturers. So yeah, keep that in mind. So we're gonna try this flat. I don't know if this will stick though. Come on, come on, come on. And it's stuck. Man, I am pleasantly surprised by that. But look at the split now. But yeah, this car is a lot of fun though, so I am enjoying it. I think personally, I would prefer the Brabham myself, because I prefer the less twitchier car, and this one is clearly the more twitchy of the two. So I do prefer, I'm gonna quote that upcoming Mission Impossible movie. I prefer a sledgehammer. This is more of a scalpel. Yeah, Angelo, I'm liking the sounds of this. I have no clue about how it'll sound with the exterior. Hopefully the exterior in this car is a little better than in the Brabham. So we'll try this again. Will it stick? I think it will. Little wide in the grass, but it's stuck. But you can tell that brushing of the grass, that cost me some time, I think. Little oversteer coming out, but you can control it. So after this lap, we'll see how we performed. Ease it into this sweeper, if you want to call it that. Interesting glitch there. There were some flashing lights. I would love to see that Terrell in rFactor 2. That would be such an interesting dynamic to see how the 6 wheels are simulated. Because with the contact patch model and everything, maybe suggest it to Studio 397. Who knows? So, even though I wasn't as much of a fan of this car, there's no denying that it's pretty darn quick. 123.3. And we had a 124.8, I think, with the Brabham. Granted, this is also a year newer car, so this car's a year newer, so a little bit of technological enhancements would make it a little faster, I bet. So let's jump into the 1967 car, different track, and see how it performs. Nerdberg, yes I do. My PlayStation Network ID is in the description of the stream. So I'm thinking we'll take it to the other Mon track, and not Montreal, Monte Carlo, or Monaco, if you want to prefer. Oh, 124.8. Okay, that's what I thought I said in Brabham. So that was the March 761 from 1976. Now we're going to do the 77. And I don't know totally what all the differences are. So we can take a look. I don't know if there are even any upgrades available. Nope. Okay, this kind of shows that it's early access. So this car still requires quite a bit of work. Yeah. Tires aren't attached. But hey, imagine driving in like this. Big tires in the front, small tires in the back. That would be funny. Interesting challenge. Flip the drivetrain. That reminds me of that monster truck. There was a monster truck that actually had the entire truck body flipped around. So the driver was looking out of the rear window. So that was interesting. But yeah, this car is a lot of fun. And we'll see if we can tackle Monaco. We just have to wait for the load screen. Front wheel drive formulas. Well, we saw how it turned out for LMP1. I don't know if it would turn out any better for or for Formula 1. But yeah, we will see how this car performs, and then maybe do a quick race and wrap up this test drive. But imagine that torque steer. That torque steer would be nuts. So I think what I'm going to do, though, is... Or let's try this steering lock. I have no clue how it'll work. Maybe adjust the gearing.
Disabled.
Okay. Did I beat a 122.4? That was pulling last year of No Chicane Monza. A nerd. I have never tried that myself. I only own GTA on the PC. Wow, this car's bumpy. Or stiff suspension, which makes it bumpy. Little brush against the Armco. Okay, this is a totally different beast now. Wow. This surface really just brings that monster to life. Now the challenge. How we'll do with this chicane. Oh my gosh! Yeah, we died. We were dead. That totaled the car. My bad. So this has the same issue with the sound. The same exterior sound issue. But, yep, rest in peace. Let's watch that again. I didn't get enough of an angle. So my problem was I got distracted by that glitch backfire there. So I don't know what's going on there, but I started too far to the left, which meant I couldn't get the angle. So I couldn't get the angle in there, and boom. See parts just flying everywhere. And boom, into the river and dead. Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. So we'll take it easy the first couple laps. Hello, Full House. How's it going? I think that object was identified, though, filing account. It was my burning corpse. Whoa! Do not touch those curbs. Do not touch those curbs. You will learn your lesson. Hold on a second. Is there the Alt Escape button? Yes. We'll use that.
Data logging
That will
disabled.
work. Easier than me picking up my keyboard every time. This is an extremely technical track. Hey, wheelchair dude, how's it going? But yeah, I am definitely glad to be back. Just been a very busy week or so. This is so not Monza. Yes, you can just see how this car's reacting over the bumps. So we might need to soften the suspension a bit. Because Monza was, all things considered, pretty soft. Monaco, on the other hand, this is like Bump City. Ah, dang it. Why is that backfire showing up? Because that showed up in Monza too. Hold on. I'm going to turn on invulnerability. I'm just so confused by that right now.
Data logging disabled.
Okay. Third time's the charm. Or actually, no. Shoot, this is the fourth time. Fourth time's the charm, guys. So you can just see how bumpy this is. Right there, that bump is absolutely insane. It just will totally unsettle the car. Nerd, C-H-I-C-A-N-E, chicane. Or chicane, however you want to call them. But hey, it's like 90 degrees today. I would love to go swimming. I mean, I have a hot tub in my backyard, but going to a hot tub while it's hot, not as fun. So let's take it easy here. There we go. Then take that jump there. Little wide there, had to lift. Monaco is such a tricky track. Especially up the hill. Modern F1 cars can never handle these bumps. Aw, man, almost caught that. This car's setup apparently can't handle those bumps either. In LA, it was 113 degrees. I do not envy that. And it's kind of funny because everyone talks about, oh man, it must be so fun to go to Hollywood and Los Angeles. And it's like, guys, you do realize it's in the middle of essentially a desert, right? So start left. There we go. That's how we take that. And then that jump puts us in the wall. Oh. So much fun heel and toeing with this shifter and pedal set though. So rewarding when you just get it right. Might be a little over aggressive with my blips though. Going through Casino, oh man, so freaking bumpy. Should keep in second for that. And then after this, we will do a short race. Those curbs will kill you. Yeah. So weird thinking that LeBron James is going to be on the Lakers now. So weird. So I think this would be interesting. The Miller 200. So we'll do a short race here. Random grid position. Finish criteria. Laps. We'll do a 20 lap race. And 96% strength. I think we would have had about 23 AI cars back there in the day. I think this should work well. 77 degrees, that's okay. Yeah, Robert, I am extremely excited for that M23. There was a third-party mod version of the McLaren M23 that I gotta say was one of my favorite mod cars for for Assetto Corsa. But then they, I think, stopped development on it, which was unfortunate. But it was so much fun to drive that thing. And they nailed the engine sound, in my opinion. So hopefully they do a great job with the M23 in rFactor 2. So yeah, I totally blanked on that, though. Thanks for reminding me. So, and speaking of third-party cars and tracks that aren't updated, one of the unfortunate things with this Mid-Ohio sports car track is that this hasn't been fully updated to DX11. So sometimes this had issues with exposures. I totally jumped the start. But let's take the drive-through, and I want to see how we can make our way through, if we can. So let's build up a big gap. It seems like the virtual mirror is a little distorted, so that might be something else that they need to fix in the upcoming release. Thank you, But Panthers on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. We're going to have to go into the pits. Let's prepare for that. $50-mile-an-hour limit. I hate the exterior sounds, that they're not sounding this good. Or that they're sounding this off. We're going to exit the pits in 20th. I really want to see these guys start fighting, though. And not just fighting me. I saw one was on my inside. We'll get the runoff, though. Apex a little early there. Let's go for a later apex here. As I missed the apex, that's no bueno. But we are seeing some battling up front. They are starting to go side by side. On the throttle. Oh, dang it. Just like that, we are in 24th. Well, we got 18 laps to build back up. Oh, a little over aggressive. Sorry. That was stupid on my part. Okay, let's see how this goes. We might have a lost cause now. Thought the point was to gain positions. Well, yeah, but also kind of the point is to make an entertaining show. So let's see if I can actually gain some spots. But driving this car is so much easier at Mid-Ohio than at classic Monaco. The many casualties, including my rear tires. Yeah, the internal mirrors, they need to be fixed. They are not showing properly. So, I'll need to make a list of things that they need to fix. Because the thing is, the driving feel of this car is great. But it's all the little touches that need to be resolved. So we are 13, 14 seconds behind Mercury. Walks have cringed during this race. Well, insurance appraisers have grinned seeing my driving. Starting to push, but wow, that's slideways. I'm not sure if I can catch up to this guy. I'm pushing hard. Whoa, Nelly. Totally lost half a second right there. Yeah, screw it. Let's restart the race.
Data logging disabled.
Want to make it a little more exciting. I'm going to let these guys by, though. I want a mid-pack start. Whoa, Nelly. A new shifter. I've been using it for months, but I freaking love the shifter as I just totally botched my braking and stalled the car. Third time's charm, guys. Third time's the charm. One of the things I love about sim racing is even if I'm an idiot, I can try again. But also note that right now I am in entertainer mode. I'm not in like serious hardcore mode, so that's one of the fun things of goofing off. That I can just goof off at times and not have to worry about it. But when I'm in serious racing mode, you've seen me, I'm a pretty competent driver at least. I'm nowhere near the best, I'll be first to admit that. But, hey, can have fun. Yellow flag behind us, I guess. Making a move on the outside. There we go. Little lock up there. still really love the feeling of this car. Yeah, I want to learn how to set up dedicated servers, because now I have an upload speed that I think is fast enough to stream and host a server at the same time. So I might be able to give that a try. I don't know how well it'll work, but yeah, learn to forward the right ports and everything and streamline my setup to be able to get it to work well. So yeah, I'd love to do some rFactor 2 racing with subscribers and things like that. Come on, I can make a move. Oh, I just can't get it stuck in there. Oh my gosh! Oh, that was an insane slide. These tires are going to be beat up at the end of this run. Getting a little sweaty too. Totally missed my braking point. Ah, man. This kitty litter, you just can't turn. Now we're down to 14 with flat spotted tires. Not good. Let's hope that these flat spots can even out. I have a feeling that's not going to happen, though. Because once you flat spot these tires, they are far more likely to flat spot again. These guys get off the grass way, way, way early. And give you nowhere to freaking go. Full house. Well, I have enough idea to know how to drive, but no idea how to drive well with these cars. But this thing is literally shaking my arms right now because of the flat spots. Wait, I should be in second. I think I'm far enough back that I can get a good run off. Oh my gosh, that's slideways. That primitive aerodynamics, though. Yep. That's one way to put it. Or you could just put it, the primitive aerodynamics that kind of work. Okay, it feels like this car's starting to come back to me now. Question is, can I scrape together a top 10 maybe? Here we go, we gotta run. Can't make it stick. These tires are shot. This is so tricky though. You get close enough to try to make a move, but then it's like you can't get past. Cars just get so much of a better run off than I do. Oh, wow. He hit that curb and shot out. I had to back off or else I would have hit him. But it's nice to see these cars are taking different lines, though. Just a random thought. These cars are taking different lines around the track. They're deviating a bit, trying to find more speed. Sure, they are freight training a little bit. Oh my gosh! He's just not going in that corner. Here's my chance. Made the pass on the outside. Thank you very much. But he has a better run off, I think. Take a conservative line. See about trying to close in on some of the other front runners. Whoa, little slideways. Lock up, lock up. No, 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 no. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Whoa, snap. I'm not fully sure, Full House. I am definitely trying to deal with worn tires. And we're only halfway through the race. Nerd, as mentioned, I do not have GTA 5, so that is not an option for me, unfortunately. Also, unfortunately, I have to also take my car in to get serviced, so tomorrow is going to be a kind of busy day for me. I do have my rFactor, or not rFactor 2, my Assetto Corsa League on Wednesday. That should be fun. I have not tried VRC's kart mod yet. I want to try it, so I will try it soon. Oh, shoot! Shoot! Well, that's how you lose 2 spots. Maybe 3. But the simulation of flat spots on this is horrible in the best possible way. As mentioned, when you initially flat spot your tires, it makes your chances to flat spot again that much higher. So you have to be very careful. We're only halfway done with this race. Oh, shoot. Not good. These tires are destroyed, I think. I wonder what the chances are I'm going to blow one of these tires. Mandatory pit stop would have been nice. I should have put one in. Wow, you can see those cars are their tires. They might be as messed up, if not more than mine. Likely not more messed up than my tires, though. Oh, I miss the good old days of no grip racing. For those of you who don't know, No Grip Racing used to be one of the major modding websites for rFactor. and I think even NASCAR Racing 2003 season. But then they kind of decided to get a little greedy and hid some of their best content, I think, behind a paywall. And not many people have been using No Grip Racing ever since. There we go. I think we are closing in on some of them. But hey, closing in on them makes a bit more of an exciting stream than me just staying in front. Even though I don't think I could stay in front. It's kind of funny though, the shaking in this wheel, I can feel it through the entire rig, to be honest. See if we can close in. Feels like the car just always wants to lock up going into this corner, though. Here's my chance. Hard on the brakes. And I made the move. That was actually a good lap. Crossover. Ooh, that was close. Almost had a little contact in that corner. Always have to be so careful here because going into that corner would be so easy to lock up these tires now. So a little bit of reason why I'm talking about how it's so easy to lock up a tire after you've already locked it up. So consider how a flat spot works on a wheel. So if a wheel is in perfect condition, then it is totally round, which means once it gets rolling, there is very, very little resistance. So think about that. And then when you lock at the brake, that means the tire stops and skids. So think about how, for example, when you're using an eraser, and you're like scrubbing out that thing, like your pencil marks, then that edge starts to become flatter if you're using like the edge of a pencil eraser. So it starts to flatten out. That's essentially what's happening with those tires. So with those tires, you are flat spotting them, and then when you're rolling with the tire, you're feeling that flat spot, A, and B, that adds a little bit of resistance. That adds a little bit of scrub to the tire. So the flat spot, in theory, should either round out or get progressively worse, depending on how bad the flat spot is. On braking, you're adding that extra force, and that's extra chance for that tire to flat spot. And more often than not, it'll flat spot again in that same spot, making it even worse and worse. So that's why you have to be careful after you flat spot a tire. And that's why, depending on how bad the flat spot is, that is more or less why you see so many drivers come to the pits as quickly as possible after a particularly bad flat spot. So yeah, a little bit of a lesson while I'm driving absolutely terribly. He took a very conservative line. So that's interesting. The AI are aware of other cars around them, so they know when to take conservative lines. Except he almost chopped off my nose right there. Yeah, it's sad to hear what happened to Race to Play. I made a video about it when I heard that they were closing down. I don't know if it's my car getting better or are these cars just getting slower. But judging from my splits, it looks like I am getting a little faster, which is nice. Faster with each blister. Could be I'm also getting used to the car. But so closing thoughts on this pack, because we are a couple laps away from the finish. These cars are a lot of fun. There are definitely rough patches that need to be sorted out, and that's evident with even just the titling of these cars. Because Steam Workshop says 0.2. I was seeing 0.8 floating around, and then 2.05 as well. So they need to do a much better job of showing what the status for this car is in the first place. The driving feel is great. Visually, it seems like these cars need a lot of work. The mirrors are broken, some things like that. So hopefully, as development continues on this car, we can see better and better refinements But so far, it seems like this car is a lot of fun, even as I make mistakes. As mentioned, it's relatively easy to drive. It is a pain to drive hard. It is a challenge to push this car to the limit, which is sort of how it should be. It should be a challenge to drive this car hard. And that's what it truly is. And yeah. So you can see the tires, and the tire flat spawning is one of my favorite and least favorite things about rFactor 2, because it is, in my opinion, authentic. You flat spot the tires, you're gonna feel it. If you punish this car, it will punish you right back. If you treat it how it's supposed to be treated, you will get a great experience out of it. But yeah, the reason I don't like it is because I get to experience them way too often. I need to improve my driving skill, as evident. But hey, this is a lot of fun, and it's great for reliving this classic era. But my list of things that Studio 397 needs to improve for this. A, the sounds, exterior sounds specifically. The exterior sounds for this car are a joke right now. It seems like almost every other sim can get a Ford Cosworth V8 sound down, and the interior sounds for this are pretty darn good. Maybe need to be mixed a hair better, but they're good. Exterior sounds, I am really, really hoping they're a placeholder, because if they're not, I'm gonna have some stern talking to with Marcel. But yeah, this is a great car. Second thing they need to fix is the very minor things. The mirrors. The mirrors right now are useless. They really are. I know you can tweak the cameras, but I'm using the default camera angle right now. You're not supposed to get into this car and have to adjust the cameras. That's not how it's supposed to be. So they really need to work on that. The last thing I would say they need to work on is the liveries. Right now, there are just simply too few liveries. They alluded to having a lot of liveries for this car in real life, but where are they? Where are they? So hopefully they can do that, and that could really flesh out this and really explore a great demographic of Formula One. The classic 70s, when they were shifting from the straight brute power and just total insanity to the more calculated and precise Formula One. So I think really that would be great. And when the McLaren M23 comes in, that will round off a great free pack, I guess. So I'm guessing the McLaren M23 is going to be a free car as well to go with this. And those three cars are going to make a great trio. And I know that Studio 397, they're saying that we should hopefully in the future see Formula One cars from every decade. So hopefully soon we'll see cars from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and 2010s. That would be a great way to just round everything off. So yeah. What car would you like to see in rFactor 2? Let us know in comments. But for now, I'm going to call it a night. I definitely need to do more training to improve my driving. And also, I'm going to be preparing for some more future reviews. But until then, thanks for watching. And you have a great rest of your day.